I'm Lucy, 32, and the day I refused to apologize for my children, everything in my life changed. I was standing by the wrought iron gate of my parents' house with my kids, Maya and Jonah, when my sister Ava said the words that shattered me. There's no room for your kids. Maybe next year. My son's hand slipped from mine. My daughter stopped smiling. The cold I felt wasn't the December wind, it was the kind of cold that grows where love should be. I didn't grow up with a gate. Our childhood house was always open, loud with cousins and stray neighbors, a place where you could drag in a folding chair and somehow a plate appeared in your hands. The gate arrived when Ava married Jason and decided our parents needed curb appeal. It looked elegant, sure, but it also learned how to say no, for 3 holidays in a row: Thanksgiving, Christmas. Then Ava gave me the same line. It's the seating chart, Lucy. We're at capacity. Mom's back is tender. We can't have kids running. You're too spirited. The 3rd year I tasted the metal in her paws before spirited, and the lie finally hit my tongue. Maya is 8, a book under a blanket kind of child. Jonah is 5, laughter like wind chimes. After my separation, holidays became our scaffold. They held us when everything else felt like scaffolding being dismantled. Being told my children didn't fit inside that scaffold felt like someone kicking at the base. Mom Eleanor hates conflict. Dad David has never met a problem he didn't want to solve with a chart. The 1st year, they said nothing. The 2nd, Dad spoke to me like the principal of the universe. Let's be patient. The 3rd, Mom whispered, Ava means well. I tried to believe it. Then my cousin Priya ruined my denial with an accident. At school pickup, she gushed over how adorable the little ones looked at Ava's dinner last year, velvet bouty eyes. I blinked. Little ones? Priya's smile faltered. Oh, Lou, you didn't know? Her phone trembled in her hand as she showed me a screenshot from a side group chat Ava had created. Holiday strategy. There was my sister's neat text bubbles. Optics matter. No chaos. Lucy's kids are a risk. I went home and cried on the kitchen floor while noodles boiled dry. Jonah pressed his cheek to mine. Are we bad? He whispered. Absolutely not, I said, and the certainty in my voice surprised me. I needed help that felt like history. My grandmother Rose kept a storage unit across town, a soft museum of our lives. After she passed, we kept paying for it out of habit and guilt. I drove there at dusk, unlocked it with a key warm from my palm, and found the cookie tin with her letters. On top was an envelope, for whoever needs a reminder. Inside, in slanted ink, she'd written, a table is a promise, not a place. Space is not square footage. It's how much of your heart you're willing to unfold. I read that line 3 times and felt my spine stand up. If Ava worshipped optics, then I would answer in a language she understood. Only mine would be alive, messy, generous. I called Mr. Garcia, the neighbor across from my parents. Could I borrow your vacant lot for one night? I asked. He laughed. For your babies? Take the whole block. That night I made a list. Tent, heaters, foldable tables, 40 chairs, midnight blue tablecloths, strings of fairy lights, a simple stage. A food truck that served tamales and hot chocolate, because even the proud soften with something warm in their hands. And because I am petty like a poet, one more thing. A mobile planetarium and inflatable dome that projects the night sky. If they said there was no room, I would show them space. In the morning I texted the real family thread, the one without spin. 3 p.m. across the street. Kids table constellation. Open to all ages, I wrote. Ava called within minutes. What are you doing? She asked, crisp as a linen napkin. Making room, I said. Lucy, please don't make this a scene. Jason's partners are coming. We need an elevated environment. If they like elevated things, I said, they'll love the constellations. Don't be dramatic. She whispered, the prayer of people who polish appearances. Then stop shoving us off the guest list, I replied, and hung up before my courage cracked. Setup day felt like building a small carnival from breath. The rental truck arrived. The planetarium team unfurled the dome. Mr. Garcia crossed with a toolbox and a basket of tangerines for the kids. Maya and Jonah tied paper stars to twine and argued about whether Orion looked smug. We hammered steaks until my palms hummed. Across the street, behind the bay window, Ava floated in white like a snow queen, conducting servers. Gold-rimmed plates, white orchids, a tablecloth as severe as an iceberg. Mom moved like a ghost, polishing what was already clean. Dad carried a tower of napkins, like he hoped numbers hid inside a T3. Neighborhood kids drifted toward us like moths. Priya arrived with her twins in unmatched socks and hugged me tight. "You're impossible," she murmured. "And very brave." Mom hesitated at the gate, then crossed, eyes shining at the glowing dome. "It's beautiful," she said, taking Jonah's hand with a face that was apology and pride at once. Dad circled the projector like a friendly scientist. "How many people can you seat?" he asked. 48, I said. I measured with logic and with love. Ava waited for the right audience to witness her control. When Jason's Tesla pulled up and his partners had their coats and their opinions, she clicked across the street on stiletto certainty. "Lucy," she said, "we need to align." "I'm aligned with gravity," I said. "It keeps bringing children back where they belong." She ignored the dome. She always ignores what doesn't flatter her. "We cannot have chaos. Not tonight." "Then stop causing it," I said gently, and stepped onto the small stage. I tapped the mic. "Welcome," I told the 40 faces turning toward me. "Tonight is for anyone who was told there wasn't room. Children first. Adults, remember you were children once." A ripple of laughter loosened shoulders. The planetarium lights dimmed, and stars spilled across the curved ceiling. A narrator explained how galaxies collide and, after the noise, settle into bigger shapes. Maya slid her fingers into mine. Jonah pressed his head to my hip. For once, gravity held instead of pinning. When we stepped back into the dusk, the lot pulsed warm. The food truck hissed. Somebody put on a playlist that made strangers sing in harmony. I let the moment swell, then climbed the stage again. "I need to say something before we cross the street for dinner," I began. "For 3 years I was told there wasn't room for my kids. That wasn't about space. It was about optics." I read Grandma Rose's line. "A table is a promise, not a place." My voice shook, then steadied. "We're a family, not a showroom. If the table is small, we add a leaf. If a child scuffs paint, we get a magic eraser. If we need more chairs, we buy more chairs." Love is logistics with a heartbeat. The applause started with Priya, then Dad, then a wave of midden hands. Even 2 of Jason's partners clapped like they'd discovered community as a business metric. Ava's mouth tightened. "You're humiliating me," she hissed when the noise faded. "No," I said softly. "I'm inviting you." I handed her a printed map of the tent, multiple expansions labeled. "See, there's room for your orchids." She stared, then exhaled like cold breaking. "Fine," she said. "Children can sit in the den. No running. No more backdoor rules," I replied. "If they're in, they're in." Mom stepped forward, voice calm and iron. "Ava, this is my home too. Tonight we do it Lucy's way." We crossed together. The gate swung wide as if it were tired of choosing sides. Inside, the house was staged like a magazine, gorgeous, quiet, breakable. Jonah paused, eyes on me. "Go on," I said. "Find a chair." He did too, actually for himself and Maya. Then Ava surprised us all by dragging in 2 more from the study. Chairs bloomed like courage. The dining room lungs expanded. More guests kept arriving. The sideboard became a buffet. The den turned into a story pit. Jason's partners learned a card trick on the rug with the kids. Cranberry sauce hit the floor. Mom laughed and fetched a towel. I caught the servers relaxing. The orchids looked less lonely. When dessert arrived, Dad tapped his glass. "A toast," he said. "To space, the kind Lucy showed us you build with courage, not with tape measures. To more chairs. To softer rules. To the promise." We raised glasses. Even Ava lifted hers. Later I found her on the back porch, hugging herself against the cold. We stood without words. Finally she whispered. "I was afraid." "Of what?" I asked. "That Jason's world would think I didn't have it together. That if we made room for everything, there'd be none left for me." I nodded. "Space isn't subtraction, Ava. It's addition." Through the window the dining room glowed, Priya guiding Maya at the stove. Dad losing at solitaire to Jonah. Jason laughing so hard he held his side. "You didn't lose space," I said. "You gained it." Her mouth trembled. "I was cruel," she said. "And wrong." She brushed my sleeve, a small surrender. "I'll fix it. Start with another chair," I said, "and a real apology to my kids." She did. She knelt, eye level with Maya and Jonah. "I'm sorry," she told them. "I chose pretty over people." It wasn't poetic, but it was true. We walked home past the fading fairy lights. Mr. Garcia helped me take down the last stakes while the kids chased their shadows. You showed them space, he said. And chairs, I grinned out in bed. Maya whispered, will we go every year now? I kissed her hair. Every year we choose, there will be room. The words felt like a blessing I could give myself too. Morning brought proof that the night had changed more than seating. Texts pinged in, photos of the old table extender leaf polished like a relic. Thanks from Jason's partners calling it the best networking dinner because the kids made everyone honest. A message from mom, first rule from now on, we make room. And from Ava, to the full family thread, I was wrong. Hold me to better. Sometimes revenge is refusing to sit on the sidewalk. Sometimes it's building your own starry sky where everyone fits and letting the light do the talking. Either way, you stop begging for permission to exist. You open the gate from your side. If you've ever been told there wasn't room for you, take this as your sign. Measure your life in chairs, letters, and neighbors with toolboxes and tangerines. You can't change every gatekeeper, but you can change where you set your table, and once people taste the warmth there, they'll move toward it like planets toward gravity. And if you're standing at a gate right now, shaking, remember this. You are not asking for a favor, you are claiming a promise. Bring a chair, bring the stars, bring your voice. The door opens when you do. For real, if this story moved you or made you rethink what space means in your family, please like, subscribe, and share. Tell me in the comments about the moment you chose to make room, for yourself, for your kids, or for someone who needed a seat. I read everyone.